Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Excited to be back here with our metaphysical company that offers so many different healing modalities, including, well, we're talking about crystals, jewelry, gifts, but also divine service as far as Reiki, past life regression, and crystals. Welcome back. And the website, go to PrismsScape.com. That's PrismsScape.com. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you very much. It's just lovely out here. And everyone is thrilled that we're supposed to get rain tonight. It'll be the first time in 2 or 3 months.
Well, that's like us here. Same situation in New York. We haven't had rain. It's affecting everyone. And you're in Iowa, right?
We're in Iowa, yes.
Oh, well, first and foremost, thanks for being here. We need the rain.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself to our listeners before we begin.
Hi, so I am Gina Crosheck, and I am the owner of PrismsScape Gems and Healing Center. We're in Iowa City, Iowa. We have been in operation for 10 years, and we cover metaphysical and alternative healing services, including some regular ones. So,
great. And what did you want to discuss for today? This is exciting. You're here, and I know you're going to share your screen for some stuff, too.
Yeah, so one of the things that we have been through so much trauma in the past couple of months. My sister was right in the middle of the North Carolina devastation from Helene. She wasn't in Asheville, but she was up in the mountains in Banner Elk, North Carolina. And the town is still without water, without sewer, because the hurricane just took everything away. And so a friend in Johnson City named Barbara Dre said, why don't we use crystal grids and send energy and healing to these particular, to deal with this. And so that's one of the things that we did. We created, and I worked with a dear friend who's very good with crystals, Joe Schaefer. And we so we put together a multi-stone grid, and it is one that I call it the Rescue, Healing, and Recovery Grid. And it is really, so it's based on the premise that once you work with stones and you talk with them and explain the intention, and one of the things we want to talk about today is intention. And so stones are an excellent way of manifesting intention. And that's what we're going to be showing and talking about today is intention. And so we have have you ever heard of this? Have you talked to people who know about such things?
No. I've talked to people that are spiritual with healing, but we didn't ever focus on intention.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the things is very important, particularly if you're working with crystals, because they're going to help us, but it's important for them to understand what we want them to help us with. Yeah. And so we created this remarkable grid for like I said earlier, rescue, healing, and recovery. And I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. And then I will, and actually it almost looks like a M&M monster cookie.
Ooh.
But with the different crystals. But I'm going to then tell you what each of the crystals is. And we start in the center with the crystal called the Cradle of Humankind. Yeah. And it's for grounding and healing spiritual, physical, and mental issues. But the grid is laid out on a flower of life grid, and it is one that people are familiar with. It's the multiple circles within circles within circles within circles. And I'll hold it and maybe you can see how it looks.
I see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so actually the flower of life is about creation. And so the reason that we chose the flower of life is because we want to create the energy for the rescue, the healing, and the recovery. And we chose the Cradle of Humankind to bring people back to their center. And then after that, we added an amethyst for protection and keeping people protected during the trying times. And amethyst, most people are very familiar with. It'd go perfect with your top today. It is a purple stone. And then we have angel light. And angel light is literally one of the stones for working with the angels. So we're bringing in the energy of the angels to work with us in divine protection. And then we are bringing in one of the most beautiful stones that we have on the planet, which is an aquamarine. And aquamarine, most people know about it in working with the jewelry because it makes such a beautiful ring or beautiful pendant or earrings. But aquamarine is for soothing the nervous system and providing peace and calm. And then we have one of the strongest stones that we work with, and it's a rose quartz, which we've talked about several times during these shows. And then we have rhodochrosite. And rhodochrosite is this fascinating stone. It comes primarily out of Brazil, even though it comes other places. And it is about gratitude. And it's not only for the divine, but for all first responders and people who are doing their best. And I can tell you, the first responders, the people who are out there and everywhere, actually, I mean, regardless of where the trauma or the destruction is, the first responders are just giving themselves so completely to help other people. And so rhodochrosite is the stone that we're bringing in to help with us on that. And then this green stone is called dioptase. And it's one of the more remarkable stones because it's for forgiveness. And it wanted to be added to the grids to help people forgive.
Yeah.
We need forgiveness of everything that contributed to the hurricane. And we have to forgive Mother Earth herself for the destruction brought upon us. Wow. One of the things that happened in the area where my sister lives is they had tornadoes as well. And so one of the subdivisions up high on one of the mountains lost 1,000 trees. Yeah. And so then we have healerite, which is great for flexibility. It's another green stone, and it's akin to serpentine. And going with the flow, and in difficult times, it's always good to go with the flow. And then you have smoky quartz, and many people, I believe, are familiar with smoky quartz. It's an excellent stone for clearing negative energy and clearing fear, and can help people be more with courage and releasing stress and anxiety. And then we have several others, so I'll just real quickly go over them. Blue calcite is working to clear the chaos. Carnelian provides us with strength and self-confidence. Garnet is for rebuilding and personal success. Selenite clears the heavy energy because there's just so much there. And then clear quartz. And clear quartz is one, and I'm going to bring just one of the master stones. Clear quartz is one that allows us to bring it all together. And so we work with the clear quartz to attach all the energies of the stones together to do their work. And so, yeah.
Wow. Well, this is beautiful work you're doing that you have. And by the way, where are these crystals and stones coming from? Just curious, because how do you know where you're getting like proper stones? Like I know you sell them, right? But you go on the internet. How do you know what you're really buying? You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a trusted source like yourself.
Yeah. Generally, you want to always know where they come from, because one of the things that's happened as people have gotten better and better at imitation. We're actually finding people are some of the stones that people imitate and make synthetics out of is malachite and lapis. And those are two. I had a lapis that I knew it was fake. Well, it had been enhanced. When I noticed when I took it off at the end of the day that my shirt was all blue.
Oh my
From
gosh.
having, I know. And, but we go to key shows, big shows. There's several that are available to us. We can go to Denver. We can go to Tucson. Tucson is the largest in the world. And over the years, we have cultivated relationships with different vendors and have grown to trust them. And to be honest, we've been extraordinarily blessed in that the people who've worked with us have been very honorable. And generally, they are checking how the stones are mined and letting us know that it's really not some of the horrible situations that you might hear about, but we're very careful about that. And that's one of the things that you want to do is when you're on the internet, you want to be asking some of the questions. I mean, now that we've got, what is it, chat AI or AI chat or that, the little bot there to help you, those are questions you can ask. Well, where does this come from? Because there are certain stones that come from only a single place, but there are others that are in multiple places.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And remind us how we can contact you. Share the website again.
Okay, it's www.PrismsScape, PrismsScape.com. And you can send an email to info@PrismsScape.com or to Gina, Gina, @PrismsScape.com. And you can also give us a call at 319-351-2907.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's continue. What else do you have in store for us? I'm excited to see what's next.
So we have one more grid.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a centerpiece. Sure. So this is the centerpiece of it.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see. It's a little tree with rose quartz. But this is our piece grid. And it is quite large. But a man by the name who started the International Center for Reiki Training, William Rand, created this grid, and it has all of the symbols of the religions of the world, including atheism. Wow. And then we put Herkimer diamonds, which are a clear quartz and an amplifier and transmitter of energy. And then we'll put the rose quartz into the center of it, and then we will connect it with a large crystal so that the energy can then emanate out. And it's quite surprising, but it works.
Beautiful.
You know, people have been making, and there are so many varieties of crystal grids that people use. They'll create, there are books written about using crystal grids. But these are just two examples of grids that we thought would be useful for the traumatic times that we're in. And so, then go ahead.
No, I'm just fascinated. I'm learning.
So then that comes with intention as we created the grids. But then after creating the grids, then one of the things is sharing energy with the stones so that they are, well, literally energized to go do their work and to bring things together or to do whatever the intention of the grid is. And that takes us into the whole concept of visioning and law of attraction. And so we have, at this time, a lot of people are just a friend of mine keeps saying one of the first principles of Buddhism is the world is just suffering. I mean, suffering is what the world is about.
Yeah.
And I, of course, being an ever-present optimist, I'm always going, no, we really want to see things coming out the way they're supposed to come, and or the way that I want them to come. So creating a vision myself. And so one of the things that becomes important is when we're talking about manifesting or creating, it becomes very important for us to see what it is. In fact, a lot of people now do vision boards. It's like, are you familiar with vision boards?
I'm looking at one now. It's my Post-its. But yeah, people put stuff up that yes, right, to kind of look at, to manifest what, can bring into light. How do you describe it?
I would say that's pretty much it. One of the things, and I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Secret or not, or read the book, but it is a book about, and a movie about the law of attraction, which is a universal law. And that particular law allows us to create a vision or create a scenario that we want to see come into reality. So, for instance, a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I'm going to win the lottery. Well, if you don't buy lottery tickets, you're never going to win the lottery. But so it's a matter of finding ways of feeling, because emotions are so important in the process of manifesting and creating a vision, and so that you're actually in the experience. And that's one of the things that crystal grids can be used for as well.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. All right. What else is in store for us today?
Well, let's just see. I think that we are looking at what's coming next. And I know that a lot of people, with all the turmoil, are concerned about what's happening. And so we are, with the wars that are going on in the world, with the turmoil within our own country, with the election coming up. And so this is a time to come to center.
Yeah.
And one of the things, I saw this beautiful post on Facebook yesterday or the day before, and it had a picture of 1 million children in Thailand meditating for peace. And so it's sort of like, this is a time that's really important for us to take some breaths and to bring ourselves back to center. And we can use different kinds of stones to help us do that, or different kinds of visions to help us do that. And I think that that's going to be important in the coming days particularly.
Beautiful. Wow. All right. And let me ask you now, is there certain crystals that we need to prepare for, like the winter season's coming up upon us, things that we should be, is there different stones for different seasons in a sense?
Yes. In fact, one of the things that we have, and I don't have it with me, is the sunshine kit. And because so many people get seasonal affective disorder.
Yep, I've heard of that.
And because the light, in fact, one of the things I'll do in the morning is looking at how much daylight we have today. And then we're about to come into, of course, falling back, and we'll be changing our clocks. And it is traumatic for every person I know. It doesn't matter. And I know
when does that happen, by the way? You just reminded me. Daylight savings.
I actually think it's the 3rd of November.
Okay, so it's after Halloween. That's better for the kids.
It's after Halloween.
Yeah, so it's
next
not too
week
dark.
We'll have Halloween, and I'll be wearing a costume.
Oh, seriously?
I
That's
am.
right. Next week is, okay, then I have to get a costume. I have costumes. Okay, cool. You're going to give me a hint what you're going to be, or no?
Yeah.
It's a secret.
I can hint. It depends on whether or not it fits. But it's a fairy godmother.
Oh,
costume.
that's beautiful. That's perfect.
Well, fairy godmothers are sort of short and sort of round, and that fits me. So,
well, I'm going to wear. I this year I found a closet in my. I found in my closet actually an old costume. It's a candy corn witch. That's what I'm going to be. But I have others, so we'll see what I pull out. Good to know you're going to participate, but not everyone will be. So I can't wear the Halloween costume all day doing this job. But maybe I'll put it on just for you.
I think that sounds excellent.
All right, thank you. Thanks for reminding me too. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so, yes, there are certain stones to help us with different seasons and what we're doing. And we're also coming into the time of the winter solstice.
Oh, yeah.
Which is December 21st. And that will be when the light returns. And so it becomes really, right now it's very important, and different stones are really good for helping us work through those different things.
Got it. Ooh, this is exciting stuff. Oh gosh. Now, what about like next week with Halloween? Like, what is your thoughts on Halloween? 'Cause some people think it's like a witch holiday.
It's a holiday, but it's been around forever. And because in a lot of Latina cultures, you have the Day of the Dead.
Yes.
Well, in cultures around the world, you have different days to honor the dead. And so that is one of them. Some people call it Samhain, some call it the Day of the Dead. And it has been around in different cultures almost forever, because a lot of it is connected to nature and to what the culture has done in years. So celebrating, and one of the things that is important to know is that it is an honoring time. It's rather than a time to be scared, but it's also when you're talking about, some say that it's the time when the spirits of those our ancestors have passed, that they'll be able to, the veil is thin, and they'll be able to work with us and talk with us. And so it's a matter of being open to listen and without fear. I think one of the most important things is without fear. And the nice thing is that even in The Wizard of Oz, they had good witches and bad witches.
Glenda, that's another good one. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe that'll be next year.
Yes. And so that is one of the things that, and most people, so the witches part is sort of interesting. There was a article that I read talking about where the black cats came from.
Okay, yeah.
And the black cats came from, there were women brewing beer, and they used the black cat to keep them from getting too overcome by the fumes and everything coming off of the brewing. And then, of course, the guys got jealous. And so they started making the symbol of the black cat very evil, because they didn't like the competition.
Nope. Oh my goodness.
And so as a result, they turned that into a really negative symbol. And now then we're actually living in a time where people are using it as a great symbol and one of goodness and joy instead of something evil.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here, for joining us. And we are unfortunately out of time, but how can we reach out to you? Would you mind sharing?
Yeah, so again, you can reach us at info@PrismsScape, PrismsScape.com, or you can check us out on the website, www.PrismsScape.com, PrismsScape.com. And you can also contact us by phone at 319-351-2907. And you can also, we're also putting a cell phone number up there, and it's 319-621-6251.
Awesome.
And because one reason that I'm sharing that is it's going to be on the billboard that we're going to have on Interstate 380.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Excited to
Thank
have
you.
you back, and we'll chat again next week. And thank you again for reminding me about the Halloween costume. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have
Bye-bye.
a great day. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Of course my kid's in the right car seat. Well, I think he is.
Yeah, my kid's in a booster seat. He was ready to move up. He is ready, right?
Her car seat looks like the right size.
There are probably rules on when to move up to a booster seat, aren't there?
Rear facing, forward facing. I think I have it right.
Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Don't think you know you know. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
I know my child's in the right car seat, or else I wouldn't get in the driver's seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.